welcome to day 2 of YOGATOBER. My name is Sorsha and this is the space between. For today's video we have a short sequence for the feet and we're going to be focusing on grounding into fall. So without further ado, hop into something nice and snuggly, light a candle or 3, and I will see you on the mat. As always, thank you so much for joining me today.
From me, you were running from it all. You got me waiting, I'm on fire. You got me waiting, my desire.
So we're going to start in a comfortable seated position. And if you have got any essential oil, then feel free to use some for this first part. So we're going to begin with a little foot massage. So I'm actually going to use doTERRA's On Guard. I really love this blend because it reminds me of Christmas and fall, all wrapped into one. And it's a really great grounding blend. So it has a little bit of cinnamon in it, it has some wild orange, it has, what else does it have in it? Clove, rosemary, eucalyptus, a little bit of all the good things. So I'm going to use this because it's a nice grounding oil, and I'm just going to place a few drops on my feet. I only need a little bit, it goes a long way. It's quite a warming one as well. So we're just going to take one foot to begin with. You could sit in a half lotus, or you could just put a cushion under your knees, or whatever feels good really. And we're going to do a little bit of kind of a Thai massage on the feet. So if I just show you, demo on my feet here. Hopefully they're not too, I went outside earlier and barefoot, so hopefully they're clean enough for you guys. But you're going to look above the fleshy bit of the heel, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just underneath this fleshy part of the toe. And those are really nice massage points for Thai massage. So we're just going to begin by, I like to use both thumbs, and you can do like little kind of pushes, and you can pulsate with the whole body. You can rock with the whole body, is what I meant to say. Putting a little bit of pressure along these points. I find that the closer to the center of the foot, it tends to be a little bit more sensitive. It might be a bit different. Obviously we all walk differently, we all have different gaits and things, so just finding your areas of tension. You can maybe close the eyes as you give a little self-massage. You can go around the rest of the foot as well. Maybe massaging the toes. You can work with little circle sequences with the thumbs. All those areas maybe that you don't really touch, you know, on the feet. On the feet, guys. Let's keep it clean, keep it PC. I don't know where my mind is at today, sorry. Best opening for a yoga video ever. And we're going to swap to the other foot. Wait. I'm just closing the eyes, and I also just like to send some loving, grateful thoughts to my feet because they work so hard. I have a job where I stand on my feet all day, so it's just nice to send them a little bit of gratitude. Our feet are so important in yoga because we can think of them like a basis for a foundation for a house, right? So if we have wobbly foundations that aren't secure, we're not really going to have a very stable house. And we can think of our feet a little bit like that. They're a great base. And also, you know, everything is connected. So if you have kind of, if you're not really spreading the weight evenly along the feet, then you might struggle with knee injuries, which then might lead into hip problems and lower back pain, which I've had so much of in the past. And you know, just working it all the way up, so then your shoulders might be uncomfortable or carrying too much tension, or maybe in the neck. So it's all linked, and you might even get headaches. You know, so I think it's really important that we do bring some focus to the feet. and their placements on the mat, on and off the mat really. If you want to find out a bit more about this yoga journal, have a really great article all about this, so I'll link it in the description box below and you can have a little browse. Alright, so we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, Vata style, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the hands, I'm hoping you can see, I'm not sure if the angle of my camera's brilliant for this bit, but I'm basically weaving my fingers through my toes as you do. You might find this excruciating at first, so be gentle with yourselves. It's obviously not a very common thing that we tend to do, especially over here in the West, or if you're not a yogi, so that's okay. So we're just really spreading the toes, and then we're going to roll the shoulders back and down. Draw up nice and tall with the spine. Allow the tailbone to sink down. Just take some nice, deep, full belly breaths. Focusing on grounding down through the tailbone. Feeling nice and heavy and rooted. Also, I can still smell that oil, so this is it's really, really good. You can start to rock from side to side. You can butterfly the legs here. And you can release the feet. You can interlace the fingers, roll them around the feet, or around the toes, sorry, or you could just bring them to the calves. Draw the spine up. Inhale and exhale over. I find this posture really challenging. I always want to be able to, pancake out on the floor, but it's okay. These things take time and patience. And now the closer the feet are to the body, the more of a challenge this is going to be with the stretch in the hips. So if you want to, you can always bring the feet forwards, away from the body, and this way it's a little bit softer, so it's more of a restorative bend instead. Or fold, I should say. Lovely, gently, slowly come back up to the top. And we're going to bring our toes and our feet open like a book. So opening the feet. Feel the difference in the hips. I really like this one. It feels so good. It's just a small adjustment, but it feels good. And if it feels good, do it. Easy motto right there. We're going to gently bring the knees together with the hands, and we're going to come and roll down onto the floor. And I'm hoping again you can see me here. Getting nice and rooted down with the tailbone, so maybe just lifting the hips and then grounding down with the tailbone. And then we're going to lift the feet up for happy baby. So you reach towards the insides. I'm just going to have a little stretch as well. We reach towards the insides of the feet. And then we just allow the knees to drop by the armpits. And just really spreading the toes here. Nice full deep belly breaths. Maybe rocking it from side to side. Giving yourselves a little back massage. And then you're going to gently release, bring the hands behind the thighs, bend the knees, and you're going to rock forwards and backwards. Big breaths. And then you're going to rock it out all the way to the top. And scoot your bum back, ready for forward folds. So with this one, we are going to readjust our bandanas. No, we're going to reach up, flex the feet, reach up with the hands, nice and tall, and then just take a moment to soften the shoulders, relax the shoulders here. We're going to reach up and over, reach up, lengthen the spine and over. If you want to, You can interlace the fingers between the toes if that's available to you. You can even bend a little bit in the knees if you find that really tricky. We want to keep the spine nice and long, so even if you're up really high, as long as you feel a nice energetic spread along the backs of the legs and you feel that stretch, that's all that matters. So just go with what feels good for you today. Be your yoga. My friend told me that in a voicemail recently. She was like, be your yoga. I was like, I like that. I don't know if it's a thing from somewhere, so I'm really sorry if I'm accidentally stealing that from another yogi / YouTuber. I don't know. I don't recognise it. But if it is and you know, then comment below because I'm intrigued. Be your yoga. I like that. Really push down into the fingertips on the mat if you like. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And then we're going to gently crawl all the way back up, reaching up nice and tall. This time, either point. Do a few ankle rolls. Actually feels really good here. I don't know what's going on. Getting my thriller hands on. Flexing the feet, doing some ankle rolls. And then either pointing the toes or just softening them. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, find some space in the body to come over. Inhale, reach forwards. Exhale, find some space. This time, allow the spine to arch. Allow gravity to just take over, do its thing. Nice restorative forward fold this time. And then slowly coming back up to center. I'm going to swivel around, come into tabletop. Hands are energetically spread. It's my little cheat sheet here in case I forget. So many sequences, so little time. Alright, we're going to open out, knees hip width apart, push down into the toes, including that little baby toe and the little pinky finger as well. You sometimes kind of neglect them and leave them out a little bit. Toes are nice and heavy. We're going to inhale, dip the belly, lift the chin up towards the spine, towards the ceiling. And then exhale, arching the back like an angry cat. I'm not going to lie, guys, I've inhaled a lot of candle fumes today. I've been doing quite a few filming back to back. And yeah, just been inhaling sweet, sweet home senses, candles, candles, words. Exhale. You're going to scooch the hips to the left, bring the gaze over to the right. And then scooch the hips over to the left and bring the gaze over to the... No, scooch the hips over to the right and bring the gaze over to the left. Come back to center. Open up, extended child's pose. Knees are hip width apart, or no, knees are mat width apart. Sorry guys, I'm just losing my mind a bit today. Knees are mat width apart. Big toes to touch, and then we're going to sink down. Down, 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 down. Bring the forehead to the mat. Reach forward with the palms and the hands stretching. And then soften the shoulders. And then just take a moment to focus on the breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Gently coming right back up to tabletop. And this time we're going to curl the toes under. And we're just going to have a little stretch with the toes. So maybe you could rock with the weight with the hips coming back. Just allowing the toes to get nice and spread here. And then either you can stay here or you can start to walk the hands up and back. I'm going to shimmy around this way so you can see. I'm going to take a moment here to stretch out the hands. So you're not touching the mat, you're just almost like a couple of inches above, reaching with the right hand. And we're going to bring the left arm up and over, cradling the neck here and just rocking forwards and backwards. Close the eyes. Maybe find that sweet spot. If you have any tension here, working that out. Push the head back towards the center. Reach with the other hand, cradle, rock it out. If your feet are starting to hurt, big, full, deep belly breaths. And then coming back with the hands relaxed. Lovely. And then we're gonna release the toes. And we're gonna tick-tock with the legs and the knees a little bit here. So just bringing the hands back, tick-tock. That's my horse noise. That's my clock impression via a horse. All right, then we're gonna release. I'm gonna check my notes so I remember what was happening. Oh, okay, we're gonna go into our Virasana, I think this is called. I always forget this one. Virasana. I think it's called diamond pose. I'm gonna say diamond pose. Basically, we're cradling the bum with the feet in this posture. Allowing the feet to become nice and heavy, ground down. Tuck the tailbone slightly, lift up, nice and long with the back body and the spine. Lovely. We're going to bring the wrists, give them a little roll. Plant them down. We're going to scooch those knees back, tabletop. Curl the toes. Lift up, hovering with the knees. Bend generously in the knees and then sweep up. Downward facing dog. Walk it out here. I don't know if you can hear my creaky mat, but and then take a breath. Hands are nice and wide and spread. Shoulders rolled open like jam jar lids. Hips are coming up towards the spine, towards the ceiling. Sucking the belly button towards the back of the spine. Softening the ankles here. It doesn't really matter if the heels don't touch the mat. As long as you feel nice energy along the spine. You can shake the head yes or no a bit here as well, releasing any neck tension. And then we're going to lift. I'm going to shimmy over a little bit, so hopefully you can see. We're going to lift the left leg, bend the knee, and rotate and stack the hips open. Take the gaze to the hands and just make sure you're not putting loads of weight on one shoulder or dumping any weight. And then if you want to, you can bring that foot just behind and to the side of the right foot. This is something I learned from my yoga teachers a few months back. I really like this stretch. And then coming up onto the fingertips here as well. I like to have a little wiggle. Enjoy the stretch. And then gently lift, come back to your downward facing dog. You're going to hover over into your high plank. Knees, chest and chin, really curling the toes. Feel the focus underneath the chin and the toes. And then shimmy back, really push down into the toes, including that little toe. Push down in the hips and then rising up. By doing this, we're really helping our lower back to be supported without causing an injury. Big deep breaths. Taking a moment as we ground down into fall. So maybe also ground down into gratitude. So just thinking of one thing you feel grateful for today. It can be as small as you like. And then curling the toes, pushing up, downward facing dog. Walk it out. Soften the heels, lift and spread the toes, place them back down. Lift the right leg, bend the knee, roll and stack the hip open. Making sure you're not dumping weight into one shoulder. And we're going to scooch that foot down Lift up onto the fingertips on the back, on the right hand. Words. And then gently coming back, downward facing dog. Inhale, hovering to high plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale to rise. Take a couple of breaths here, this time whilst the heart is nice and open. Rolling those shoulder blades back and down. You're going to think of someone you feel grateful for. Curl the toes. Pushing up, downward facing dog. Gonna imagine we've got a big vacuum cleaner at the hips, and we're gonna suck up the hips and step almost like we're wading through sticky honey. Coming towards our feet, bend the knees generously, and then roll all the way up. Nice and slow. Gonna take a few moments to practice a little sequence. Again, inspired by another yoga teacher this time. Those of you that live in MK and have come to our workshops will recognise this one. So we're going to have the feet about hip width apart. We're going to just put a little bit of, I'm not hoping you can see, just going to point the toe and then rock forwards and backwards on the ball of the foot, of the left foot first of all. You might even want to step it behind. Have a good stretch. Maybe do some rolls. And maybe do the same with the other foot. So rocking on the ball of the foot of the right foot this time. Maybe stepping it back. Doing some ankle rolls. Okay, let's have a little practice. And I did this in a class this morning here in Newport Pagnell, and the guys really got it. We've been doing some footwork for a couple of months now, and I think they're finally it's clicking, so it's good. Takes a while in the beginning sometimes. Lift the toes on the left foot and spread the toes as wide as you can. Place them down on the mat. Push down into the big toe of the left foot and lift the other 4 toes. So you can just bend down and use your hand to help me with this. Then we're going to place down the baby toe on the left foot and lift the other 3 toes in the middle. So you've got big toe down, a little toe down, again use your hands if you need to, and the 3 other toes are up. Going to lift the toes, spread them all. We're going to place 1 toe down at a time. You might find it easy with the big toe. I find it easy with the little toe. Whatever works for you. So 1 toe at a time on the mat. So you've got these nice spread toes. All right, we're going to do the same with the right. So lift and spread the toes. I find this foot a little bit more difficult, so notice if there's any differences. Place them down. Push down with that big toe and lift the other 4 toes. Place down a little baby toe, but lift the other 3 toes. And then lift and spread all the toes. Place them down 1 at a time. Lift the inner arches of the feet. Tuck the tailbone under, almost like you're drawing it towards the back of your mat. Roll the shoulder blades back and down. Spread the fingers energetically. Almost feeling like you're pushing off away from your mat with your feet. So you feel this nice lift all the way up through the tailbone, all the way up the spine, up to the crown of the head. Heart is nice and wide open and fearless. Feeling brave and bold. Nice strong foundation. Soften the knee. I have a tendency to try and lock mine, so just soften the knee if you find you do that too. Bring the hands to the hips. And then we're going to dive forward, forward fold. So leading with the heart. Coming down into our forward fold. This time, if you want to, you can either stay here or you can take your index finger, wrap it around on both hands, both feet. Wrap it around your big toe. Keep those knees soft, not locking them. Allow the elbows to come to the side, spine is straight. If you need to bend your knees generously to keep a nice straight spine, please do. Big breaths in and out through the nose. Inhale, halfway uplift. Exhale, forward fold. Either hands come to the ground. You can wrap, again, your index finger around your big toe, or you can bring a whole palm under the foot. Palm to sole. Sole to palm. Almost like your toes are giving your wrists a little massage. Release the hands. Have a little wiggle and bend in the knees. Rolling all the way back up. Okay. I'm going to take a moment to practice a little bit of goddess pose. Rocking forwards and backwards. So I think we'll do a little tree pose first of all. I was gonna have that one for tomorrow, but we're actually going to do a tree pose focus video tomorrow. So we'll be going into a lot of depth with that one, but we'll just have a little play now because it is really great to have a play with that with the feet. So let's just lift the toes, spread them, place them down. Feet are about hip width apart. Bring the right foot and rest the heel on the left ankle. I'm going to do this with both feet on the floor, the toes touching the floor. We're not going to do like a crazy version. We've got a few different variations tomorrow, so we'll play with that then. Soften the knees, especially in the standing leg. It's going to help your ankle to calibrate your weight. If you lock it, you're going to get injuries, but you're also going to find it really, really wobbly. Bring the hands to the hips for today and roll the shoulders back and down. Find your drishti point, your focus point. Breathe deep. Close the eyes, feel grounded from the tailbone all the way down the leg, down the feet, down the left foot, almost imagining shoots and roots coming out of the left foot. You could keep the eyes open if you find it easier. It's a bit kind of the eyes closed. And then release, shake it out. Repeat on the other side. So lift and spread those toes on the right leg. Lift the inner arch. Lift the left heel. We're not too worried about the hips. We're bringing our hands to the hips and we don't worry about the knee too much. Just let the knee fall as far as it is comfortable. Don't try and force it. More on that in tomorrow's video. Soften that standing knee. Roll the shoulders back and down. Lift the chin nice and tall. Keep the eyes open or you can close them. Having your drishti point, your focus point. Maybe even a smile as well. And then release, shake it all out. Okay. Alright then, so just in closing, yeah, gonna do a couple more postures to close. So we'll have our feet a little bit wider than our hip width. I like to have my toes pointed out for this one. Lift and spread the toes, place them down. And let's do a cactus arm. So we'll bring them right out. And then we'll come down, goddess pose. Again, lifting and spreading those toes. Tuck the tailbone under if you're putting a little bit of a Beyonce. I think I looked more like a chicken then. And in my head I look like Beyonce, but in reality I probably just look like a chicken. Chickens don't clap. If you watch Arrested Development, you'll understand that reference. Anyway, goddess pose. Feel grounded in the feet. And I'm going to dive forwards. Bringing the hands down. We're going to open the feet wide out. Wide-legged forward fold. Bring the toes in slightly to help you grip with the mat. Bring the hands down to the ground and breathe deep. Full belly breath. Lift and spread those toes. Place them down again for motion strong through the hands and the feet. Nice long spine. This time we're going to walk the feet in. Toes pointing out, and we come down. Yogi squat. Ooh. Fall over. Lift the toes, spread them, place them down. Bring the hands to the heart, close the eyes. Bring the hands forward, lift onto the toes this time. Rocking it side to side if it feels good. Come all the way down. Soles to touch. So we're going to finish on a little bit of legs up the wall. So, for those of you that have not done this, we swivel really close to the wall. Basically my bum is kissing the wall. I'm going to lift my shoulders, shimmy them out, open up my hands. Or you can put your hands on your belly if it feels good. You can have your feet like so, or you could allow them, if you're trying to do splits practice, you could just let them fall out to the side and gravity will kind of help you to open up the hips here. I'm going to have mine in the usual way. Legs up the wall is such a great posture. You could still do it snuggled under a blanket if you're cold, or using a little pillow or a hand cushion for your head and neck. And we just want to stay as still as we can for a few minutes. I'd say, like, honestly, minimum of 5 to 10 minutes is really great for this. I also love to do this posture whilst I'm reading a book at night. It's really great. It really helps you to have a nice full deep sleep. So we're going to stay here. Deep full belly breaths. Notice where the mind is, if it's calmer than it was before this class. Notice where the breath is. Are we breathing deep, full belly breaths? Not berating ourselves if we're not. Noticing the body, are there any niggles, any aches or pains? Just checking in. If you can, stay here for another few minutes or even longer, as long as you can, to be honest, is wonderful. We're going to bring our hands to our prayer position, bring them to the third eye. Giving yourselves a thank you for showing up today to practice on the mat. I hope that you feel a little bit more stable, secure in your foundation, and you can lead this into a time off the mat. Thank you so much for joining me for another YOGATOBER. I really look forward to tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys, and namaste.